Ryan Turner here. One of my students, Thad, asked me to help him with the style of playing that was made popular by Paul Balash. He plays in the key of E a lot, and he's got this really neat little way of doing it. And so I kind of like been playing a little bit of it and just analyzing what's going on. And it's a very popular style in the contemporary Christian music genre. What I'm going to do is I'm going to talk about the key of E, which is what I call the guitar-friendly key. Now, the reason it's friendly is because in the key of E, the sixth string open is E, and so is the first string, that's an E, and the second string open is B. Well, all three of those notes are in the E chord and the E scale. So whenever you're playing the chords in the key of E, you can utilize those open strings to advantage. For example, I can hit an E, and I hit the second chord in the key of E is F sharp minor. Well, if I leave that first string open and the second string open, it becomes an F sharp minor 7 with the suspended fourth, which is a mouthful. But not only is it prettier because it adds those extra color notes, but it's easier because you're not playing bar chords, because I know a lot of us struggle with a bar chord. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to talk about the 7 basic chords in the key of E. Now, just as I said, that whenever you add these open strings, it adds extra color. But I'm going to keep the chords to a simple name because explaining all the colors is out of the scope of this quick video. But just suffice to say, if I call it an F sharp minor 7 with the suspended fourth, well, it's still an F sharp minor if you boil it down to its basics. So you know, the sus4 and the minor 7 is just icing on the cake of what you already have. So first of all, let me just talk about the 7 chords in the key of E. You have E, and we call that our 1 chord. We have F sharp minor, we call that our 2 chord. G sharp minor is your 3 chord, A is your 4 chord, B is your 5, C sharp minor is your 6, and then D sharp diminished is your 7 chord. What I want you to notice is we have 3 types of chords: major, minor, and diminished. The 1, 4, 5 are major, 2, 3, and 6 are minor, and your 7 is diminished. Now, it would behoove you to memorize that right off the bat. So the first thing I'm going to talk about is the 3 majors, 1, 4, 5. Whenever you hear majors, that's a happier sound. Minors tend to have a melancholy sound. And the 1, 4, 5 is the most common chord progression in the Western Hemisphere. So that's why I'm going to attack it first. Now, in this style of playing, I can do E like this. That's the E that everybody knows. And I'll use that one also. But I'm going to come up here to the 7th fret and do it like this. Because watch, I'm going to put my first finger on the 5th string, 7th fret, my third finger, 3rd string, 9th fret, my pinky on the 3rd string, 9th fret. So my first finger is on the 5th string, 7th fret, 3rd finger on the 4th string, 7th, and my pinky on the 3rd string. It's a real nice way to get an E. See, I'm utilizing that open string. The 6th string, the 1st string, and the 2nd string are open. Now, the reason I want to get that is not only that the sound good, but watch what happens when I go to the 4 chord, A. I'm simply going to pick the first finger up, slide all that down to the 2nd fret, only hit 5 strings. That's A. Remember, I'm going to call it just A, although it's an A add 9. We'll talk about those colors on another lesson. A. Then I just slide up 2 frets, put my first finger on the 5th string, 2nd fret. That's your B. That's your 1, 4, 5 chord progression. So E, your 1 chord. A is your 4. B is your 5. So it's a very familiar sound. We've all heard something like that. All in on E, it always wants to resolve back to that 1 chord. Okay, so that's the 1, 4, 5. Now, the most obvious minor is the 6th chord, C sharp minor. So I'm going to take the 1, 4, 5, and I'm going to insert a 6th chord in there. So now I've got 1, 6 is the same chord on the 4th fret. That's C sharp minor. 4 is A. 5 is B. We call that the 1, 6, 4, 5 chord progression. Here we go. 1, E, 6, C sharp minor. A is your 4th, B is your 5. Again, 1, 6, 4, 5. Okay. What I'm going to do now is talk about the 2 chord. Now, and we have the A major and the B major, and both of them have what's called relative minor. For example, let's make A. Put your these 2 fingers where they were. The relative minor for A major is S sharp minor. The only difference is the bass note changes. Here's A. I'm going to put my middle finger on the 6th string, 2nd fret. That's S sharp minor. That's my 2 chord in the key of E. So E is your 1 chord. F sharp minor is your 2. Or I could have done like this. E, F sharp minor. It's just like an A except the bass note. Okay? Now, the same thing is true with B. That's your 5 chord. If I want the 3 chord, I just change that. G sharp minor is the relative minor to B. B. And then there you go. So now we've talked about everything except the 7 chord, I believe. So let's just walk through them. E, that's your 1, F sharp minor, that's your 2, G sharp minor is your 3, A is your 4, B is your 5, 6 is C sharp minor. Let's go ahead and talk about the 7. That's the one that's kind of odd. It's the diminished. It's got that dissonant flat 5. That's why people avoid it a lot. But I like it. It's kind of dissonant. It gives you tension. It always wants to resolve back to that 1. You'd never end a song on that, would you? I mean, no, I wouldn't anyway. But then always go back to 1 to make it sound like it's finished. So now I'm going to play all 7 chords in the key of E. E, F sharp minor, G sharp minor, A, B, C sharp minor, D sharp diminished, and back to E. There you go. Okay, so let me review a few applications. Okay, in the key of E, E is obviously the most obvious chord. The next most obvious chord is the 5. That's B. Because when you hit B, it sounds like it wants to go back to E, don't it? It sounds like it's over on E. That's the 1 chord, 5. 1, 5. Then the next most obvious is to add a 4. 1, 4, 5. Then we can take that chord and add the 6. 1, 6, 4, 5. We can replace that 4 with the relative minor, and we have the 1, 6, 2, 5. That's the most common progression in jazz, by the way. That's another story. 1, 6, 2, 5. Now, a lot of times you hear just a walk up. You'll walk from the 1 all the way to the 5. That way you can utilize the 3 minor chord. So E, 1, 2, G sharp minor, A, and B kind of leaves you hanging and wants to resolve back to E. So there you go. So that's part 1 of the key of E, the guitar-friendly key. I hope you like it, and if you want to see more videos by me, you can click right here. And if you haven't subscribed already, I would appreciate it if you would. You can click right here and do so. Thanks until next time. Bye.